Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay, boomer. Okay.
So recently there's been an all-out war on fucking the boomer generation, all right? And the latest iteration of this is Gen Z and late model fucking millennials are standing here getting angry about all of the things that have been just kind of swept under the rug and not talked about. And it's all kind of boiling to the front. And the newest part of this is Charlie Kirk and his boomer ideology with Turning Point USA has been getting smashed by a group called the Groypers and Knickers, which is looking hilarious, right? I'm trying to bring all y'all individuals who are not so internet back into the internet to understand what's going on. All right, this is a reiteration of the Pepe meme type of situation because Charlie Kirk done said some ridiculous shit about how America is just a placeholder for ideologies, but Israel's a real country. Here, check out this clip.
I reject this idea of dual loyalty. I have loyalty to ideas. And of course I love the Grand Canyon, I love the Rocky Mountains, and I love Boston, I love Chicago. But if all that disappeared and all I had was ideas, and we were on an island, that's America, that's Israel. And that's what people have to realize, that America's just a placeholder for timeless ideas. And if you fall too in love with, the specific place and all this, that's not what it is. Israel will be an exception because there is a holy connection to this land.
So Israel, which has only been a country since 1943, something like that, is allowed to stand here and exist. But America's not that important. I kind of feel like you're a piece of shit for that one there. For a guy spouting America first policies, guy standing here going, America above all else, and being a pro MAGA guy and a Trump guy, and all these type of things. I really do feel like that's a shitty way of looking at things. Like when it really comes down to it, like that's not just hypocritical, that's patently dangerous. All right. And we should probably be addressing Israel. Like y'all, if y'all haven't heard my stance is I think we should move Israel to Brazil, right? I think we should put it along the coastline so, it can be protected, being near America and in, the fucking first world, away from all them Arabs. Because I don't care about your holy monuments, and I don't give a shit about your, piece of dirt, because I don't live there. All right, I care about my piece of dirt where I live at. All right, because I live here and my children live here and my father was from here. My grandfather wasn't from here, but he brought us here and we worked our asses off to pay for this land. And, I really do think that what he's saying is not just wrong, but dangerous, because we're over here fighting wars for this country. We're over here giving billions of dollars a year to this country. And he continues on to go, and this is the only democracy, it's the only place that supports gay rights, and da-da-da-da. And I'm like, hang on a minute, wait. When did conservatives start giving a fuck about gay rights? When did this happen? When did this become a thing? I can understand, wanting to stand for personal liberty and safety and law and order. I get all that, right? Which kind of goes hand in hand with, having the right to be whatever you want to be. But on the same point, you're not really a fucking, standing here promoting conservatism. You're promoting liberalism, like the classic definition of liberalism, right? This isn't even libertarianism, it's liberalism. Like with libertarianism, it's really more along the lines of how strong are you to be able to stand here and do what you're doing without being fucked with. Like if people are gonna fuck with you, if people can rob you, it kind of is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the situation. So with that being said, I really wanted to stand here and break this down a little bit, and I want to show you that Nick Fuentes decided to send his army the hell over to Charlie Kirk, where he's doing his little meet and greets or whatever the case might be, and he does what Ben Shapiro does, where he goes to colleges, right? And they have all these students stand up, and he owns these little libtard snowflake students. But instead, now he's up against real, actual conservatives and people who have their thoughts together, and he is getting owned, and it's amazing.
Are we ready to get started? Okay, let's get started.
Hi, Charlie. Welcome to the best state in the union, Ohio.
Hey.
Enter contestant 1. Look at this Chad motherfucker in a 3-piece suit stepping up to the microphone. This is what's known as a Groiper welcome. You know what I'm saying? Gave them no reason to stand here and kick an individual out. Which, by the way, that's how all this started, was that Nick Fuentes got kicked out of an event at Politicon by Charlie Kirk, which is some bitch made bullshit for a guy who speaks about having free speech and an exchange of ideas. He's more than willing to stand here and run away from ones that he doesn't agree with.
Ohio State University.
So my question is, if the president were to enact a policy that would completely benefit the United States and her citizens, but to the detriment of Israel, would you support it, yes or no?
Well, that's a false choice. Thank you for being here. I get a lot of questions about Israel in the last week. I will not apologize for my defense of our greatest ally in the Middle East.
Yes, he has been getting a lot of questions in the past week about this. It's hilarious. So, and it's not a false question at all. All right, it really is, a legitimate question. If we said, well, you know what, we're going to end all, overseas aid to other countries, that would benefit the United States, but would not benefit Israel. You know what I mean? Like, that's a pretty easy one to jump on there.
I will not apologize for the fact that I defend Israel against its critics both domestically and abroad. And I'm always just very puzzled at times when I get the amount of attention that is on the only democracy in the Middle East, the only place where all three monotheistic religions are allowed to peacefully visit their religious sites, the place that has respect for human rights, the place that the Knesset has representation for all three monotheistic religions, something that does not exist all throughout the Middle East.
Not to mention the only pro-gay place in the Middle East, by the way.
Yes.
Again, why at a place promoting conservatism are we bringing up gay rights? Why does that matter? Like, at all? And why do I care if all three religions peacefully coexist there? That happens in a lot of places. For instance, America, Europe, the rest of places like Syria, Libya, Iraq, all these places had Christians and Jews in them until United States came through and bombed them out because they didn't support some policy or some pipeline that Israel wanted to have happen. This is fucking bullshit.
So, Rob, let's talk about that. How would most Middle Eastern countries treat you if they found out you were gay?
Let's see. They can be like Iran, and they can force gay men to transition into women. They can be like other places in the Middle East where they stone gays to death in the streets, and they throw us off rooftops. And these are very real things that continue to happen. And so when I hear those criticisms of being pro-Israel that are coming from the left, that's really shocking to me. And this is why I call it the intersectionality cult, and this is why I say that intersectionality makes zero sense, because you have so many criticisms coming to Israel from the left, and Israel is the most pro-gay place in the Middle East. It is the only place where gays can be, it is the only place where gays can be open to be who they are without fear of being murdered for their sexual orientation.
You're surprised that the left is, anti-Israel? Really? Like, with the sheer raw amount of Muslims inside of that party, you're surprised they are anti-Israel, really? But even here, look, I don't really care about what the gay dude thinks about things. I really don't, because let's be honest here, man. Like, me and you, we ain't got the same end point in mind as to what we want. Like, what I want is the government to leave me the hell alone, as an in general thing. Stop taxing the dog shit out of me and just leave me be. But what you want is the government to be able to protect you from motherfuckers like me who are going to punch you in the face for spouting off with the fucking mouth. That's kind of the real difference when it comes down to it.
And to just answer your hypothetical that has no concrete example to this day, if any country would ever support a position that would be against our own interest, I would not support that. However, time and time again, Israel, and Rob, can you second this? They helped you when you were a veteran in Iraq with intelligence, supply lines, medical assistance.
Absolutely.
You know, when you were there. And so they stood side by side our efforts. And look, I was against the Iraq war, but I am glad that they helped you, you know, when our servicemen and women went overseas there. And so I'm answering your, you know, unlikely hypothetical with that answer. And I'll say this as final. I wish that the amount of attention on college campuses, there was 1/10 of percent of the attention on other countries in the Middle East that Israel seems to always get, the only democracy, the only free enterprise country, and the country that most supports values that are closest to America. So
Yes.
Thank you so much for your question. We appreciate you being
Thanks.
here tonight. So thank you so much. Thank you.
I swear
I
I
think
will
you
be
need to find
much
one.
more
Be quick,
quick than
straight
him.
to the
I will. Somebody outside a protester was asking about the term culture war. It's got a long history, started late 1800s, Otto von Bismarck, Culture Kampf. In the late 1990s, mid-1990s, it was reclaimed by conservatives, one of those being E. Michael Jones, who actually started this magazine, Culture Wars magazine, and because of his fantastic work, we now understand... Thank you. Give it up. Because of
no idea.
E. Michael Jones' groundbreaking work, we now understand that sexual liberation is political control. It's a form of political control. And you have multiple times advocated on behalf of accepting homosexuality, accepting homosexual acts as normative in the conservative movement. How does anal sex help us win the culture war?
I'm going to let the gay man answer
Wait
that.
a minute.
I mean, let's be honest here, all right? When it really comes down to it, having homosexuals in the Conservative Party is nothing more than virtue signaling, all right? Because the vast majority of conservatives are religious individuals. They're moral people. They believe in a higher being. Now, you have some atheists, you know, and these skeptics. Fuck the skeptics, all right? They're worthless pieces of shit. But if you're a God-fearing individual, right, and you're looking at the people in the middle of the country, it might not be a terrible idea to go, yeah, I don't support homosexuality. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't think that's what we should be promoting. Like, you know, reality. Like, it's not positive for our society. It's not positive for our culture. It's not positive for our children. Like, and it leads to story time, you know what I mean, with pedophile transgenders when it really comes down to it. So let's really have this conversation out where the conversation belongs. And the dude is fucking completely right to bring this goddamn question up.
So can I ask you a question? Can you have the balls to ask the gay man on the stage that question and don't defer to him? Ask me that question. I will answer you that question.
How
so
does...
I'm gonna answer you. You already asked the question, so I'm gonna answer that question. I'm gonna ask you.
Everybody, I give you Turning Point USA's ideology of what a conservative is. A gay black man who talks like a Puerto Rican lady from Brooklyn. Yup.
That question. This is America. This is the greatest freaking nation in the world. We realize that America is great because we have Western values. We realize that, let me finish, dude. We realize that gays and lesbians are able to contribute to American society in the same way that everybody else is. And let me tell you, when you continue doing that, okay, you realize that we are here. We are able to do everything. And let me tell you something as well. I served in the military, right? I served 5...
And I had kids, so I made some of the future people of our country. Did you do that? Did you have kids? Oh, that's right. You're a homosexual, and you can't make children when you fuck some dude in the ass. Wow. Amazing.
years. I did an Iraq tour. What's up?
How does homosexual sex help us win the culture war?
Who said homosexual sex helps you win the culture war?
That's the question that I'm asking. Why are you promoting it?
Well, it's a BS question, and you know it is. It's not. It's a question.
See Charlie Kirk all slumped down. He's like, Jesus fucking Christ. Why am I doing this right now? Like, why am I here right now? Why? How much money is this worth? Somebody please tell me this is worth this so much money. Please. Yeah, man. Yo, it's not a bullshit question. It's a legit ass fucking question. Why is it that you're bringing homosexuals into the conservative movement? How does this help us? How's this helping us win the culture war?
That is not being. It's not a good faith question.
So I'm
it's
gonna
not.
be,
It's the dude.
I'm
It's
gonna
not
be
a good
honest,
faith question.
Rob, like honestly, I don't care what two consenting adults do. So that's
the whole thing.
and your hyper focus on it is kind of weird. Thanks for being
you
here.
seem to be really interested in gay sex. I'm pretty sure if you're into that, you can go find somebody to do it.
Oh yes. So here we are. You know what I'm saying? We've devolved to the point of where the conservative movement is arguing like two kids on the goddamn internet. Well, really, honestly, like a female is standing here fucking arguing with a dude. You know what I mean? Like, this is exactly how females in the high school fucking argue with people. Passive-aggressive bullshit fucking arguments. Literally accusing somebody of being a homosexual when they're asking you, why are we pushing homosexuality? You know what I mean? Like, you know, awesome.
I don't know, maybe. Next question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Hi, Mr. Kirk.
And wait a minute, let me, this is my first culture war, so I want to say that I have to make a statement, and I'm not here to tell anybody what to think or what to believe, but for me, somebody like that doesn't really have any place in the conservative movement because it's something that is so behind the times. And you can boo and you can do whatever you want to, baby, because I'm going to be me, and I'm still here.
Next question.
What's the question?
My question is largely directed to Mr. Kirk because you were raised as a conservative. Part of the issue I see here is, what's your name, Rob?
Yeah.
So you're saying, oh, you're behind the times, this isn't conservative. Well, we don't want centrists in the conservative movement. We want to retain our core values.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
We don't want drag.
But here's the thing. It's not about what you want, because here's the thing. The beauty about social media is that I can be me and I can bring myself to the table. And it's not about what you want, it's about what the people want.
It's amazing, man. Every movement, you know what I mean, that ends up happening on the grassroots, basic level ends up getting bastardized, except Trump. Trump never got bastardized. That was most definitely interesting. You know, the internet kept that one pretty true. And this is the internet striking back. Charlie Kirk has gotten caught in the sand trap of fucking the internet. And this black dude, I'm pretty sure he will never stick his face or put his nose this close to a lion's mouth again. And he will do research again before he stands here and tries to do some dumb shit. And I'm betting he goes, well, I had a good showing, but the reality is that he knows he didn't. Like, he knows that this didn't go well for him. And that is some truth. You know, we don't want centrists and drag queens in the conservative party. You know, we want conservatives in the conservative party. Like, the world is dividing itself. All right? You have these crazy communist socialists on one side, and on the other side, you have normal, hardworking individuals. And, well, actually, you have crazy people on the other side, too. You know what I mean? I'm one of them, I'll be honest with you. You know what I mean? I'm one of these crazy people on the right-wing side. And in the middle, you have hardworking individuals, right? Who, you know, they want to just keep going day by day. But thing is, man, that's not going to be happening for too much longer. So no matter what you do, this fight is coming. All right, and the future of our country is what it is. I'm not a liberal. I'm not. Sorry. You know what I mean? I'm not a liberal. I'm not somebody who believes in liberal ideologies. I don't like British thought. I don't like any of the stuff that happened after the Enlightenment. Literally, my thought dies with, you know, Machiavelli. When it comes down to it, I don't like John Locke. I don't like any of the bullshit. I'm a libertarian individual. And I'm also a God-fearing Christian. It is what it is. I was born Roman Catholic, baptized my kids Roman Catholic. And I plan on continuing my traditions and cultures because I think they're more important than your stupid fucking ideologies. All right? I don't give a fuck about what y'all think. I'm going to live my life and live my culture the way I was taught to and the way it was handed to me. It's that simple. And I'm not going to let you fucking corporate cocksuckers bastardize it. Your time is over with, boomers. We coming for you.
He gonna take over on the mic. Old ladies suck.
Okay, boomer, 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 okay, okay, boomer, okay, boomer, okay, okay, okay,